Welcome to the Profitable Cleaner podcast. Join your hosts, James Harper and Angel Sandoval, bringing you the experts, discussions, and knowledge you want. We talk about sales, technology, marketing, operations, strategy, leadership, mindset, health, God, and so much more. Now, are you ready to profit?
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Profitable Cleaner. Today, we got a special guest. We actually know this individual for a while now. We've been done some work with her, so I'm super excited to bring her on this podcast and talk some knowledge. Lorena Iglesias, CEO of Infovine. Welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Good. Yourself? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you. I mean, I really hope that in this time we're able to get at least like 0.5% of what's in your brain and your knowledge, because every time we talk I'm like impressed. So super excited to do this.
All right, me too. I hope so too.
Mr. Harper, always a great time to co-host. I feel like I haven't co-hosted with you for a little bit, so I'm super excited that we get to do it together.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. Actually, that's a good point. It's been a few weeks, but here we are, and we have an awesome guest in Lorena, so I'm ready to rock and roll, bro.
Well, let's do this. Well, Lorena, I don't know if you've heard of our podcast before, but we'd like to start the first 30 seconds where you get to just brag about yourself. Tell us a little bit about who Lorena Iglesias is and what you're doing, what you're building, and then we'll get started.
All right. So I guess briefly, so I'm from El Paso, Texas.
That's right. Yeah.
Born,
Ooh.
Yep. Born there, and but my family is from Juarez, Chihuahua. So I have family on both Texas and Mexico side. And I'm 41 years old, married for 24 years. My husband's a USMC veteran for 13 years. And most of I got married very young at 17 years old. So most of my time was with my kids and on the East Coast. So fast forward a few years, we ended up moving here to Houston, and I have a bit of a deck of cards when it comes to my backgrounds. I've gone everywhere from, the cleaning industries to having my own cleaning company, residential company, to a mobile mechanic assistant, work on cars from time to time, being a dispatcher in the logistics and warehouse industry. And then now I'm in the print and mail world.
All right. Well, first of all, yeah, I think is this the first El Paso Juarez guest we got? Outside of the co-host, obviously, but this is first guest.
I was just gonna say that, man. This is we got like double Juarez representation and double El Paso representation on the show. That's definitely exactly the first. I think we've had an El Paso guest actually.
I don't remember who.
Anyways, yeah, I can't remember his name.
Then we can't. If you can't remember his name, then he wasn't here. I don't know. Maybe we have. I don't know. But regardless, we gotta work on you rolling your R's because you don't say Juarez. You gotta roll that R. It's not even a rolled R, but Juarez. It's just
Juarez.
Anyways, there you go. That's all you gotta do.
There you go.
Well, listen, super excited to have you. For those that don't know, I'm from Juarez as well. So is my family, and we live in El Paso, Texas. So I was just there for a whole week. So I'm super excited. I didn't know that before we invited her and before I did business with her. So again, it speaks more volume to the work that you do. So I have a question. We'll just dive right in if that's okay with you.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. What has one thing that has stayed with you, even though you've shifted from industry to industry to industry to industry, you've been successful in every one of those industries. It's not like you had a 5-person residential cleaning business or a warehouse with one distributor or a printing company that kind of sometimes does some work. No, you've grown them nationally. So my question is, what's one thing that stuck with you? One or two rules that stuck with you regardless of the industry?
Oh, that's a good question. So I'd say just the customer service, the taking care of people, just being honest.
Tell us a little bit more about that. What's your ideology or methodology of taking care of customers? What do you mean? Because I bet you met people that say that, and then you look at their customer service and you're like, yeah, no, that's like not it.
I think what helps me get through like everything in life or what I try to do or get into challenges is I always try to think of myself as the customer or be on the opposite side, because we're all a customer at one point. So regardless of what we do or what industry or what company you're in, it's always going to revolve around people. So you, James, Angel, myself, anybody, it doesn't matter. That it always comes back to that. That's like the base core of everything.
I think that's a good principle there. And I think, Angel, you're right. A lot of people say, hey, customer service is at top of our list, and then the results doesn't always match the message. I'm kind of curious, Lorena. I think that was a good question right off the gate, Angel. But you got married at 17. You just told me you have a 23-year-old and 21-year-old before the show. So you were a young mother.
Yep.
Talk to me about like being married so young, having kids so young, how that transcended into business. And just talk to me about managing both roles. And the reason I ask that is because, one, I manage both roles and it's sometimes chaotic. I know people that listen to the show, they manage businesses on all of that, but you did it at like a very young age. So I just like to hear about that progression.
Sure. So for me, well, my parents have always been the main big supporters all the time. But they've also been my role models, because ever since I was little, since I was 9 years old, that's when I first started cooking. It was my first egg. My parents have always shown me, there's no excuses. As long as you're healthy and you're able to keep moving, do things yourself. If you need help, it's okay to ask for help, but never give up, never just sit and feel sorry and say you can't do something, because we can. And they've always been that role model for me, where they've always, still to this day, if they have to do more than one thing, they will do it and they will get it done. So they're not just sitting there and saying, oh, that's it, nothing. So I've carried that with me throughout my whole life. When I got married at a very, very young age, at 17, I began to learn really quickly that even though things were very scary and challenging, I had to push myself and jump into certain things. Even though, my body would shake and my mind would shut down sometimes, but if I didn't do it, I wouldn't know what would happen next. Instead of just sitting back and saying, well, I could have done this or I should have done that. So I think, and even with my husband supporting me and helping me throughout the way, he brought me out of my shell on a lot of things. Because even with my English, I didn't speak English. That wasn't I had to take ESL classes, and I lived in Missouri, where there was maybe like 5 of us Hispanics in the school. And that was difficult. It was very hard. And so I've carried that along with me throughout the years. And now that my kids are in their adult age, I also have to remember that I hope that I'm a role model to them and that they can do even better than what I'm doing. And I want to be able to show that to them also. And so they can see that, mom doesn't just sit and do nothing. Like, I keep moving, I keep striving. And what else is there? What else can we do? Have I ever done this? No, but let's try it. Always try. And I think I had shared this with Angel before, was when people say, I don't know. One of my biggest things is not knowing is okay, but it's what you do with it that matters the most. So, find the answer.
I love that quote. Real quick. So you said that your kids are always watching, so you keep them as, you're their role model. We had a mentor once tell us, like, hey, message all your employees and the people around you, and ask them who their mentors are. And if you're not on that list, then you have work to do, right? You should always be in that list. And we actually did it, and we were surprised by the responses. And we're like, oh shit, I gotta step up, man. So let me ask you, not that I doubt your kids are gonna listen to this, but hey, kids, if you do listen to this, what would you want them to know about, like, their mom? What are the top words or top characteristics that if they could have a role model like you, what would those words be?
To know about me?
Yeah. So, like, for example, if I had kids, I would want them to know that their dad is a challenger. Like, I would challenge anybody and anything to bring out the best version, right? So, like, what was some of yours?
I think very similar. I think I'd want them to know that regardless of what happens, I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to quit. I always try to be positive all the time and always find a solution. Yes, there's challenges and problems through life, and nobody's perfect. I don't know the answer to everything, but I will reach out around me to those who I know will be supportive, and I can ask, for help. So doesn't matter at what level you are or how much money you have or what you do. There's always ways to reach out for support and help.
It's kind of funny hearing you two like hearing both you and Angel talk. Like, so when you were talking, Lorena, you guys amaze me. Number one, like you talked about like English, taking English classes, and like that was challenging to you. When you told that like brief little story there, I remember Angel, you would tell me the same thing. Like when you were learning English, and I tell our team, I'm the only one that isn't bilingual on our team, that like it amazes me that you guys do business in a second language and all that. I'm going to ask both of you guys a question. I'm just going to go off the rails here. Like you're talking about your parents and how like they're just movers and shakers. You guys are both from the same spot. Like I always think, like I hear stories like Angel's, like yours, like our good friend Alex, who we know on this call, who's from El Salvador. Like I always think about these American success stories, and I'm like, what is my excuse? Someone that was born here, right? That didn't have like these obstacles. Is this like a cultural thing? Like when like, because I see you guys hustle at just a different pace. And I see that through my business partner and co-host here, Angel. Like, I'm just going to ask both of you guys this. Like I got two Juarez locals here and Alpacians. I don't even know if that's correctly.
Did you say locals or locals? Just to make sure.
Both, man.
Both.
A little bit of both.
There you go.
I'll let Lorena, since she's our guest today, I'll let her take this answer first.
Thanks. So, yeah, thanks. So I think for me, well, maybe it could be the same for everyone else that isn't this similar, but I think for me, I think it's the passion and the drive, because nobody else is going to do anything for you. You can't expect others to do anything for you. But I think for me, it's like for yourself, James, I think, yes, you may not be bilingual yet, but you can be. I mean, it's never too late. But I really think that it's the passion and the drive. Like, how bad do you want it? What is it that you want, and what direction do you want to go in? And so even though there was challenges and maybe there's stereotyping or whatever the case is, I think that's what pushes me also to do that, and being a woman as well.
Facts. That's all I'll say. No, yeah, no, I agree. I think, well, listen, I think you don't have a choice. I think that's why. So I think like I have a thing where people say opportunities is good. I think actually otherwise, I think opportunities confuse people. And I think that's kind of the problem with a lot of people born here in the US. You have so much opportunity and so much access that you're like, it's okay, it'll always be there. With us, it's a little bit different, right? When you come here, you're like, this is it. We get one shot, right? Like we get one shot, and so we better move, shake. Now, I will say there is some Mexicans, even for me, like Juarez is so close to El Paso that there's some people in Juarez that'll never learn English, which baffles me because they are not technically a third world country, Mexico, right? They're a second world, like they're first world, so they're good. They're technically okay, but when you come illegally, there's no okay. There's just doing. There's either you learn English or you don't talk to people. That's simple. It's either you get a job or you don't pay your bills. Like what? There's no options, and so I think that's what makes people from Juarez great, or Mexicans in general, Latin Americans in general. And then when I came to El Paso, I heard a lot of people would talk shit about El Paso, a lot of bigger cities. So like you got UT Austin against UTEP. I remember being in college and it would be like UT Austin, UT San Antonio, all these, Boston College, all these cool cats. So I would go to competitions and I would want to represent El Paso, and we would beat them. I would beat them, leave them in the dust. But that's just because I wanted to prove a point, not because I wouldn't mind going to UT Austin. But you know what I'm saying? Like those are the things I was telling somebody about. They were like, "Oh, you couldn't get into UT Austin, or what makes y'all different?" They made us write an essay on like the bigger universities versus El Paso and like the culture. And I was like, "Yeah, you guys we're what you call a commuter university." And they're like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we all have jobs. We can't even live in campus. We have jobs, we have families, we have to live in campus, we have to cross the bridge. Some people still live in Mexico. Y'all get to live and double down for 4 years in one university. We got shit to do and take out a university degree." Does that make sense? So I think she hit it right on point. Passion, grit, and just proving that not that we're better, but that we're capable of doing more.
That's interesting. Opportunities confuse people. I think you're right about that, man. I think that's really an interesting take. Lorena, I have a question for you. Sorry, I just feel like I'm just going at it today, but here I am.
It's all right. Get it.
Yeah.
He's inspired. Okay. Get it.
17-year-old Lorena, newlywed. You were a soon-to-be mother. Did you ever picture yourself at that time at 17, seeing yourself as a CEO now?
No. Nope.
How did that identity how did that identity come to be, right? Because that actually, like, you told me how old you were on this call, and it wasn't that long ago. Like, in
41,
all reality,
41.
Yeah, you're 41, so it wasn't
young.
that long ago. So how did that identity evolve into the CEO, Lorena?
So originally, when I was in school, I was actually going to a tech school. I was a CNA. I was a certified nurse assistant at the time because I was going for my RN to be a registered nurse. The medical field has always been like something that I think is great. Again, it revolves around people, helping people. But so, I got married, moved, and I think the way that I ended up, the way that I ended up landing in this position with Infovine was because of my customer relations and customer service skills. When I first came on into Infovine, I started as an account manager and then moved up to account executive. But what my role was then was to make sure I took care of the customers, all of the accounts, nurture, and just keep that relationship going. And I think that the founder, who was previously the CEO, saw that in me and saw how impactful that was, because the team is wonderful. Don't get me wrong. The team is great. They're wonderful, but they're more stationary. So they're only able to, be an extension as far as through emails or phone calls or whenever customers come visit us. But we needed someone to go out, feet on the ground and face to face and interact and so on, because it's completely different when you are face to face with someone or in person, as opposed to just texting and emails. And so I think that's how that evolved. They saw my passion that I have with taking care of people. And so once, he decided to, okay, it's my time to retire and enjoy his time, that's when that position was offered to me. And I'm going to be honest, and the very first time that it was offered to me, I was kind of like, whoa, like, hold on, I'm not ready for that. So it took me a few months before I finally said, okay, I'll do it. But that's how I got here.
There's different ways to get to where you're supposed to be or how to be a business owner. I'm very similar to you as well, Lorena. Like I would consider myself more of an entrepreneur, right? Which is like I'll come into an already established, or not established, just a business, and then you sweat equity your way into owner, or like you crushed it so hard that he's like, all right, well, I need to give this to somebody else. Like I need to officially let somebody grow this bigger than I've been able to grow it. So I think that's really cool. That's really cool. I actually didn't know that story. Let me ask you a question then. Now that you are in this position, obviously when you take on the responsibility, there comes more to it, right? Before you didn't see everything. Now you see all of it, right? Which I don't think a lot of people don't understand what that means. They're like, oh, I can be a CEO right now. And then they realize that there's 10 different KPIs, 10 different things to be looking at. So my question to you is the following. Lorena, the customer service business manager running the show, versus Lorena, the CEO. What have you had to work on yourself to transition efficiently and then really scale Infovine? Because I'm assuming Infovine has grown since you took it over, correct?
Yes, we have grown. We're still growing. And I think there's a lot still. There's honestly, Angel and James, there's still a lot that I have to work on, which is what I love about this, because the more that I keep moving forward and the more that I meet people like yourselves, the more interesting and exciting it is, actually, because I get to learn from you all. I get to learn from our team, our customers, even customers that come in. I think that there's still and it's going to be endless. I think for me, it's going to be endless. Like I'm always going to continue to just keep learning. And there's going to be things out there that I don't know, that I don't understand, that I'm still kind of like, I might be 5 steps behind, but I will make sure that I learn it so that I can get up there on the same level as most people are. And so I think that's what's fun. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But it's fun though, because it helps build and strengthen myself as a person to help others.
All right, hang with me for the next minute and a half. We got a quick break here in the Profitable Cleaner because we're officially official. It's like I like to say it. Why? Because I get to take this break and introduce our sponsors. First sponsors is USource. So go to usource.com. That's usource.com. This is a business management platform for facility services companies. No more chaos, unnecessary admin work, or just having to consolidate information. This is about you not being the source of information anymore and having a platform that can give you accessibility, visibility, and control over your operation. So see more, do more, whether you're 1 employee or 3,000 employees. This is the platform for you. So check out our sponsor, usource.com. Our second sponsor, dayporter.com. They will help you with all your outbound, LinkedIn, email, call, and they're going to do it with a team from Latin America. So make sure that you reach out to them, dayporter.com. They can help you hire your next superstar and give you the strategies to go book the walkthroughs that you're looking for. The third one is going to be Melgar Consulting. That's alexmelgar.com. If you're hovering around the $5 million range and you're in the facility services industry, want to hit those 20, want to keep bumping your head and really want to scale, he is going to be able to consult and help you have the right foundation, the right structure, and the right strategies, and the right advisory and consulting to get you past those 5 to 20 million. So go to alexmelgar.com. And last but not least, our fourth sponsor, cleaningprofits.com. That is our annual event for facility services, CEO, executive teams, leadership teams. Bring them out. This is all about transformation. It's all about training. It's all about community. And it's held once a year, this year, September 12th to the 14th. So thank you once again to all of our sponsors. And let's continue on to the show.
What did those conversations?
Real quick. You know what's also fun? Just shameless plug. Fun Faces. Just saying.
Yes.
Sorry. You said fun. My brain went to fun. He owns a company called Fun Faces. They'll print your face on stuff. Like I love. Anyways. Yes. So for the next event, we're gonna place an order. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. I want my face printed somewhere and clients' faces. So be ready for an order coming probably around August or July.
We'll do some with the headphones.
Yeah, we'll do a little podcast and everything. That'll be super fun. So check out, what's the website for Fun Faces? Just so in case somebody's listening to this, they can just
it's funfaces.fun.
I mean, come on, y'all. Funfaces.fun. Order some. If you do, let us know. We'll have a little surprise for you. Okay, James, sorry. Go ahead. My apologies.
No, I think that's awesome. And that's actually a really good plug too. So you do have an interesting journey to becoming like a CEO, and I want to take everyone listening right now. So a lot of people listening are founders of a cleaning company that listen to this show, but they have scaled to the point where maybe the founder doesn't have to do it all, right? Maybe there is time to put a CEO in place, and that CEO doesn't always have to be a child or your spouse, right? It could be someone that's just a top performer, kind of like you were with Infovine. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, how did this position come to be? Like, how did these talks start with like the original founder with you? What's the dynamic like now with you as an outside CEO running the ship? What's your relationship now with the founding members or member? Like, walk us through that, because I know that there's people listening right now. They're the founder of a multi-million-dollar cleaning company. Mm-hmm. They're still doing everything, and it might be time for them to put a better driver in the driver's seat, aka a new CEO. So I'd like to hear more about that process.
Sure. So I think before the founder decided to step down and step away and go, enjoy the rest of the time as he should, before he left, he sat down and kind of went over a few things with me, kind of gave me the background, the back history, and so on. But he was there for me to ask questions, as many questions as I needed to ask, and I certainly did. And I think with the time that he was here before he left, I got to see the relationship that he had also built with the customers that had started with Infovine 20 some years ago. And it's very impressive of how the trust built, the knowing the team here. A lot of the team here has also been here for 20 some years. And so I think of now that he's gone and it's myself here and there's another partner that's here occasionally. I hear two things. I hear, a CEO shouldn't be involved as much, or CEO shouldn't be, hands-on or doing so on. But I disagree with it to an extent, because I think that's still very important to be involved with your team, because I will certainly jump in whenever they need my help. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, I have been here at nights. I've stayed the night here at Infovine before to make sure we get projects and orders done. I tell my team just how they are my left and my right, I'm going to be there all around. I'm going to support them all the way around. And so I think, yes, if I can step back some so that, some people don't depend on you, it will help. It will help strengthen the team also. But I think coming in from time to time still to jump in and see what's going on, because maybe my team might have great, bright ideas that I don't know about, or that I know that could help the customers also. And so I think it's kind of like a 50-50. Yes, step back some so that they can continue and grow and do, help the company be even stronger, but also jump in occasionally to see how else you can support them and what you can learn from the team.
So it sounds like you and the owner had a pretty close relationship, like the previous owner. So it sounds like the conversations went pretty smooth, and obviously you just asked a bunch of questions and he just answered them until eventually, I'm assuming, he told you, hey, so yes or no? And then you were like, oh, okay.
I did have my whys, like, well, why is that? And why is that? But not to be a nuisance about it, but just so that I can understand why did these things happen, so.
But the main factor, it sounds like, were the relationships he had built, both with the clients and the people. That was like a big deciding factor. You were like, okay, I want this to last. Yes.
And I think that's what led for me becoming the CEO of Infovine, was because there was a comfort, a trust that, he knew that he could count on me to continue it, to, even though I'm younger, I guess. But this is what I wanted to do too. It took me a few months to accept it, but I said, no, you know what? I think there's a lot of potential still here with Infovine. There's still so many customers that have been loyal for many, many years. And I mean, why not? Let's continue to grow it.
What's the next step for Infovine? What's the big vision? Now that we have you here now, so maybe maybe our listeners can support, we can support. What's the big, tell us a little bit about Infovine, and most importantly, what's the big vision? What's next?
So Infovine is a big supporter. We started as supporting nonprofits, organizations. The founder is also part of a church, which he ended up helping with the postage and the mailing. So he helped educate them and showed them, hey, let's do it this way so that you guys could, expand or extend your budgets. It could help you all. And so that's what we do. For 24 years, we've been supporting both nonprofits and for-profits, but the majority of our clients are nonprofit organizations. And I think what's so great and wonderful is that we're so diverse and we have so many generations here that it's exciting, because I think what I see next for Infovine is that the way I see Infovine is we want to be your support team. We want to be your support, family, or however, whatever makes you happy or makes you feel good. But we want you to know that if something's going to happen, that you think of Infovine and be like, oh, they got me. They're going to take care of me. And so with the younger generation that we have here on our team, I think it's so exciting because we get to hear, with all this tech savvy technology that's out and all the new ideas and creativity, that's why I had came up with invite ideas. Invite ideas, bring your ideas and we'll bring your results, because everybody has an idea, no matter how big or small it is. Everybody has one.
I've never known the power of leveraging print and mail. That's how, I don't want to say I'm new school because I'm not new school, but I'm also not old school. I'm like right 94, So I've never understood the power of print and mail. I know, right? Well, the power of print and mail. I know James has. I know he's even helped some, worked with some printing company before. I know he's in the nonprofit space. I keep everything digital, but the more I dive in and the more we talk, the more I realize that there's something, if you use strategically, print and mail can work, right? So if somebody's listening to this that maybe they've never done print and mail, both for their residential company, commercial cleaning company, what advice would you give them to at least start thinking about the process?
About the process for printing and mailing?
Yeah, do I just go, what do I print? Or would I just, I don't even know. If I'm new and I just have no clue, but I feel like I need to do some form of marketing, something new to reach my customers or new leads, what would that be?
Well, again, I think it always comes down to, what is your goal? What are you trying to accomplish? Who's your target audience? And I think that digital marketing is great. Absolutely. I mean, we use it also. So they're both great. I don't want to knock one over the other, because I think they're both great tools to have. But when it comes to the printing and mailing, I think those are also very powerful tools, because it can reach out to people who, like you mentioned earlier, Angel, or don't have those tools or resources where they could use, technology or internet or so on, or maybe there's people who prefer to have that hands-on, that touch, that feeling, so they can sit down and relax. Because I mean, I don't know what percentage that we are on our phones and our computers, but sometimes I get home and I'm just like, man, I just want to, kind of rest my eyes from my desktop, from my screens. But I still enjoy receiving coupons and mailers at my house, and I clip them out and I carry them with me when I go to the store. When I go to the restaurants, I don't want to look at the menu from my phone. I want to hold it, and I want to be able to flip the page if I have to.
I literally just did that yesterday at Buffalo Wild Wings. They're like, you can just scan, order here, and pay. And I'm like, or you could just give me the menu and serve me.
Let me tell you guys why. I'm going to give you, if you've never heard this, Lorena, here's Infovine's new sales pitch. So there's a study out there.
This is not totally your sales pitch.
No, I know. But no, this is how it was originally said to me back in the day with print marketing. And I love this analogy. So there's a study where waitresses, when they dropped off the check at the table, they 100 of them just dropped off the check. The other 100 of them left a mint. Have you guys ever got a bill where they leave a mint?
Yes.
Or they wrote a little something on the bill, thanks for dining with us. The ones that left a mint or left an additional card with something written on it got 40% more in tips. So how does this relate back to print print marketing? It's because there's an intangible human aspect that we physically want to grab something, right? I'm holding this right now. So I could be in front of Lorena or you, Angel, and say, hey, we just did this trade show in Vegas, ISSA. It was a great trade show. We met all these people. I had all these people put their digital stuff into my phone. I literally have not reached out to any of them. Now that's half my bad, but the people I have reached out to, ironically enough, literally, here's my wallet. That's a business card right there from ISSA. This person has been contacted. I physically touched what they handed me. And it goes back to that study of the waitress that drops something that you can physically take with you when you're paying your bill. 40% more engagement. And that's how it was related to me in print and marketing. I do think there's a human aspect of being able to physically grab something, see something, or being handed something that you engage differently with.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, no, it's called the law of reciprocity, and it was introduced, I believe, by Brian Tracy when it comes down to marketing and psychology. So if you give something to someone, you will get something where they feel more like they owe you something. And so that would be interesting to test with mail. I wonder what the do you work with your clients to test out conversions of mail campaigns? Like, do you coach them on how to do that, or do not a lot of them go too much into that? Like, if I send 100, 10 turn into clients, is there a way to know that?
We can. There are some clients that have requested for us to sit down with them and go over, we kind of show them, we write it down or print it out, but we show them, and we show them the differences. Like if you go this route, this is what you'll see. If you go this route, this is what it can go to. Or we try to find out, okay, what have you been doing, or what have you tried? And then we do A and B testing. We do the A and B testing. A and C's also help, which refers to, as in, like, let's say we do a direct mailer or a targeted mailer. We'll send one letter a certain way with certain things in it, and then we'll do the B, and then we'll see, and then they get to see, okay, this is what's getting the attention. This is what's working. Very similar to social media, right? LinkedIn, you put posts out there and you start to see, oh, this video got a lot of impressions, or this video got this. And then you start to see what the audience is really getting their attention on.
And if I don't have the addresses to the business, now I'm like talking about myself, but if I know who I want to go for, but I don't know, do I need to go pull up all the data online and be like, here are all the addresses of the business I want? Or can I just tell you, like, hey, this is usually who I go to, these are the regions, this is how I work, and then y'all be like, cool, I got you? Or
so you can provide us with the list, or we can provide you with the data list, and then it comes down to who your targeted audience is. Who do you want? You want this age range, you want the income, you want male or female, you want both, and you want people with pets, with kids.
That's for residential, right? Can you guys do it for commercial too? Can you guys mail out to businesses?
We can do it with businesses, which actually before it wasn't the choice. It was even like PO boxes. They were very strict about that. We had to narrow it down to mostly residential, but they're starting to do that now, where we can choose for businesses.
Nice. Okay, well, I'm learning a lot. Sorry, I'm over here just asking questions for my own research. So no, that's good. I like it. I mean, you could probably put like a coupon code or like a QR code or some promo code, and then you can track your conversions that way. Probably a QR code that takes them to a landing page too. Like, you can get creative with mailer. But I agree. I think it definitely captures your attention when it's in your hand, more than if I'm already programmed. My brain's programmed to not pay attention to funnels and landing pages and ads on I am like pre-programmed. Now, if you send me a mailer, because it's so rare to me, every time I open my box, I actually go through. I'm sitting right now. I go through all of them before I even leave my mail, like the mail room, because I live in an apartment. Before I even leave it, I go through all of them to see if it's something I like, and then I either keep or throw away. So it's very interesting.
Now the key is there, you're at least looking at it, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like you could go on your phone. I'm the same way, man. Like, I can't tell you the last time I clicked a Facebook ad. Lorena, if someone is in commercial cleaning, they're listening to this, they're like, okay, print, that's interesting. But they've never done it. One, what would you recommend that they do? And where do they start? What's like a reasonable starting budget? Like, just give someone like first steps that may be interested in this.
So I think for someone who doesn't know, like small businesses, we get a lot of customers that are new entrepreneurs or starting their businesses. I think it's having a budget. Everybody will have a budget. But it's also, what are you trying to accomplish here? Are you wanting to get new customers? Are you wanting to reach out to your repeat customers that have been with you for a while, or maybe both? Or are you trying to let those around your area know about you and who you are, what your business is about? So it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish there. And then that's where we guide them and tell them, okay, this is what will work great. This is what we've seen that works great. And this is what's best to fit within your budget, so that they don't have to overspend, or they can have still extra to use for their next project or their next campaign.
So you guys are more like advisors / consultants with the whole printing with anything print, really. It's not just mail, right? It's print and mail and a little bit of everything.
Printing, mail, large or wide format signage. But I mean, yeah, it's creative design, marketing.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. And I know that you guys focus a lot on nonprofits, so we don't have to go into details, but if you guys have enough, I know a lot of people listening, a lot of commercial cleaning companies, they actually host their own galas. They host their own events. I was just talking to someone about it. So if you guys have a nonprofit, reach out to Lorena. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to help you all out. And again, I like the advisory approach because every time I've done print work, and ironically, I do a lot, which is weird. I order a lot through the different companies, and it's so hard because I don't understand the lingo. I don't understand how it works. All I know is I'm a creative and I have an idea, and can somebody bring it to life? That's it. Like, if once they start getting into it, or when they don't get into it at all and I get delivered a product that I'm like, what is this? That's when I start getting frustrated. So now you guys have been awesome to work with. I know we've done some work already. So yeah,
Thank you.
if you guys haven't done it, it's worth a call. It's worth a talk. Message her on LinkedIn. If you want, reach out to Infovine and just be like, hey man, I got a few ideas. What do you think we should do? And trust me, they'll walk you through it. So I just want to give that quick plug there. Question. I know James is about to have one, so I'm going to take it before we get into it here. How helpful though, has it been? Like, what's your support group throughout all of this? Because you've jumped from cleaning to mechanic into warehouse and I'm assuming Infovine is not only your only business. I have to assume you have more. How important has been your support group throughout all this? Who is part of that crew that keeps you? You said your kids, right? Your kids keep you going. Who else, or what advice would you give to someone that maybe feels like they're alone?
Sure. So I think my support group is it's my kids, my husband, my parents, and even my own team here. My own team here is also my support group because, like I said, I'm not going to know the answers to everything. I haven't been in this industry that long, but anytime I have questions, I'll go to them. I go and ask questions about the equipment, like why is that running that way, and how long does it take, and so on. But I think overall, it's just everyone that I surround myself with and that I come across, it will become my support team at one point. And but the closest ones to me have always been my immediate family, my kids especially. Even they check their mom and say, okay, But yeah, I mean, I think my parents, because they've always, still to this day, they will mentally support me and kind of bring me back to my roots and say, hold on, Lorena, ¿te acuerdas cuando te decía esto? Remember when we used to tell you this? And my sister's also an entrepreneur. She has her businesses. She's got 3 businesses that she runs, and she's 35 years old, I think. Oops, sorry, Prissy. But
young family, I love it.
Yeah, she's a graduate from UTEP from El Paso, and yeah, so I mean, man, I love her. She's got that passion too and that drive, and she won't give up. But we call each other.
Where the businesses at? Where are those at? Are they Does she stay in El Paso, or does she leave?
No, she's in Laredo. She's in Laredo, Texas.
Close enough.
Yeah. So, but yeah, she's got her, cream athleisure fashion clothes that she does, and her trucking also. She's got 5 trucks, and she's got her aesthetics spa thing. So,
what?
Wait,
parents entrepreneurs or no?
Yeah. My mom has her own cleaning company also, janitorial, and my dad has his transportation and warehouse.
I obviously don't know anything. I thought I knew stuff. I don't know anything. So your parent, interesting. That's cool. And where are they located?
They're also in Laredo. They're all from El Paso, but they're in Laredo.
They've left El Paso. Good. No, that's all right. That's all right. But no, but so Sonny, my dad's an entrepreneur too. So I wonder. I feel like they become entrepreneurs out of necessity or out of want. Like, did they want to be entrepreneurs, or did they come to the U.S. and they were just like, well, we have to do something? And
I think probably both.
A little bit of both, yeah.
Yeah, probably both.
Yeah, that's how my parents are. That's how my dad is. That's really cool. I would love to. I'm gonna go visit. I was just driving by Laredo. Literally, I just drove back from El Paso. I should have totally. If I knew, I would have probably stopped by or something.
Well, if you go golfing, I highly recommend to go to the Max because that's where we golf at, and they have the most beautifulest big golf course there. Yeah.
In Laredo?
Yep, in Laredo, Texas. That's one of the.
I don't golf,
top.
but I might just go just for fun.
It's fun. Yep.
Well,
here is like, okay, your mom owns a janitorial company. You're an awesome new connection of ours. We just need to. We have this awesome event every year happening next September.
You guys pitching live.
We just need to get your mom, your entire family, you, Lorena, out to our event live and learn something from you guys.
I heard about your event. I think my sister would actually really enjoy that event.
Oh, we'll bring everybody, and we'll get all of our print work with Infovine going forward for all of us. We need everything. I mean, we need name tags, we need the big print formats, we need backgrounds, we need everything, and then fun faces.
Stickers.
Stickers, fun faces too. It's gonna be the move.
Oh, there you go.
Well, Lorena, before James always has a question at the end. He pulls it out of a little box, and that box is a random question. We don't know what it is. But before we do that question, what advice, if any, or what message do you want to give to someone? Let's say they just skip to the last 5 minutes of the podcast and they're like, let me just go see what she's all about, or let me see if this is worth listening to. What advice would you give somebody if you can only give one message?
Advice overall, I guess.
Or message, any message.
Just try to always be positive, think on the bright side. Everything happens for a reason. I always like to say it's all uphill from here instead of downhill. If you're stuck in traffic or the train cuts you off, maybe not be so upset about it, but think maybe there's a reason why that happened, is to keep you from something else that maybe shouldn't have happened. But try to just be positive. I mean, be kind and help each other. There's no reason not to help each other. There's enough in this world for everybody to be able to be successful and support each other.
I love that message. It's only uphill from now, everybody. But seeing it in a positive way, now my brain is like, cool, man. Then just get ready to go up the hill. It's that simple. It's not that complicated.
You can do it.
I love that. Yeah. James, ready? Do you have it? Do we not have it?
No, we got it. So actually, if I'm being completely honest on this show, we ran out of cards.
We ran out already?
On our box.
Oh.
Yeah, we ran out already, but I came
should have been notified about this. What is going on?
I came prepared. I came prepared, though. So I do have a random question for you. And actually, I think this is a really good question, better than any question that could have came out of that box.
Did you generate this question out of your brain, or did this have like a system? Just so I understand.
Good old Chat GPT, baby.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting nervous.
I was like, give me a fun podcast question for a CEO. And actually, I think this is fitting. This is going to be fun, especially because you and Angel are from similar roots. If your life had a theme song every time you walked into a room, what would that theme song be? I wish I had it queued up.
That's actually
that is a hell of
freaking phenomenal question. Yeah, I like that. I really do like that.
So ChatGPT is better than question cards. Damn it.
Holy shit, that was a good question. Well, damn. So I like Caribbean Queen, and Blue Bayou. Those are my two top favorite songs. So
I wish I could put a YouTube right now and share it. That would be so say it one more time.
The Caribbean Queen and Blue Bayou. Those would be my two. Queen. Those are my favorite songs. So whatever situation it is, it doesn't matter. It's still good.
Wait.
Wait, are you looking these songs up?
We're talking about this one right here, or what?
Yes. Yep. Caribbean Queen.
Okay, I know which one this is. Okay, good.
Okay. I can get down with that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
What would be your theme song, James? I'm just curious because that's such a good question.
Yeah, it is.
That is such a good question. Oh my God.
Oh man, I got to give it to you, Lorena, for actually knowing your theme song like that. Damn.
Mine.
I don't know, man.
Mine. I just right now, I would be the El Rey from Vicente Fernandez.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
That has to be it, bro. Imagine every time I walk in, you just hear that little thing in the background that talks about being the king, no matter if you're misunderstood or you have a queen or not. That is a hell of a song. So
I'm too ghetto, man. I'm too
What's yours?
ghetto.
Just say your ghetto song. It's okay.
Yeah, I would probably like put on like Still Dre, like by Dr. Dre.
Oh, there you go.
Like
Hey,
I don't know.
that's not ghetto. Why is that ghetto?
I just
That's not
like
ghetto.
I just want to like kick in a door when I hear that song. Not
There you go.
in the bad way. Like it's just like,
Hey, but that's you, right? That's what you like.
yeah,
100%.
exactly.
Say it proudly, bro. Like what?
Yeah.
So
I love that.
I'm like, oh, okay, Caribbean Queen and whatever the hell Angel just
El
said.
Rey.
Just can't say the king. That's what it's. That's what it's. You heard me sing it. We were doing karaoke. Well, listen, Lorena, thank you so much for being part of the podcast. Really appreciate it, y'all. If you need printing, mailing, if you just need an advisor to help you launch that new campaign, reach out to Lorena. If you do, let us know if you reach out so we can make sure she answers. No, I'm just kidding. She always answers. She has great customer service. I just want to make sure that we can help anybody. But other than that, Lorena, thank you so much for being here. James, always a pleasure to co-host, brother. And for y'all listening, God bless, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
All right. Thank you.